see me and you and I sit down and talk, the first thing we do is a big survey of what's going on. I want to find out what's affecting you, why it's affecting you, what you think it is, get a big on everything that's going on that's causing you problems. I want to find out what's worked in the past with your health, what hasn't worked with your health, but also then we have to determine if and when testing is appropriate. So in today's conventional medical system, the first thing that happens is you go to the doctor, you say, blah, 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 and the doctor says, let me order all these tests. And nobody thinks about it because they assume that it's covered by your insurance. Well, guess what? A lot of tests aren't covered by your insurance. And if it comes back as not medically necessary, you can end up with thousands of dollars of bills and still not even have any answers. And I know that would piss me off. So why do I tell people to, let's first not worry about the testing, let's see what's going on, because the best diagnostics of what's going on in you are made when the doctor listens to what's happening in you and asks a lot of questions. The next thing that's appropriate to do is go down the pathway of correction or to treat or a protocol to address what's going on with your health before any tests are done. Sometimes tests are not even needed to figure out what's going on, because when we listen as practitioners, we can say, it sounds like this or that. And after we make some corrections by giving you some strategic eating, some targeted supplements, and some lifestyle changes that we know work based on science, a lot of times a test is not even necessary. And for those of us doing functional medicine, this is what we do. We listen. This is why the appointments are 60 to 90 minutes when you first come in and see us, because we're being the detective. Why is this important? Because what we want to do is do a sniper approach as opposed to the shotgun approach. Shotgun. Sniper, we want to laser in on what's going on and work to get rid of what's going on. And a lot of times that can be determined just by listening and taking a good symptom survey. So most of us in functional medicine, I give people a survey in two ways. One is an online survey that they take time to do, and they might take 90 minutes before they even see me to fill out their survey. So then by the time they see me, I ask more questions and I can come up with a strategy and a protocol for you to be able to do even before we've done any tests. And so when people are concerned about testing, I want to answer this question because I get it a lot. How much is it going to cost? And well, first, it's like when you go to the mechanic, your check engine light is on and you say to the mechanic, how much is it going to be? And the mechanic says to you, what? Well, I got to take a look. And once I take a look, I can tell you what's the matter. And then I can tell you how much it's going to cost. It's the same when you go to your healthcare practitioner. You go in, you sit down and tell the story, and we listen to the story, we make some assessments, and then we say, here's what it's going to be. So the way I work with testing is when you first come in, I want to look at what you've already gotten done within the last 3 to 6 months from your other doctors. Bring that all in, we can look at it. I will read it in a functional way. If you have not had any testing done, then we can order some. And because I belong to groups where we can get really favorable testing, a lot of times I can get you really, really, really cheap prices to get testing, less than it would cost you when you go through your insurance. And they give you a copay, and if that's necessary even. So you want to get some baseline, we can do it. Well, what about more advanced testing? We do it when it's necessary. So if it's food sensitivity, if it's a digestive analysis, if it's hormone testing, saliva testing, urine testing, organic acids, what else do we do this? Genetic tests. I even have links to be able to get you discounts on all this, so it's affordable. So when you come in, before you be concerned about testing, let's talk about what you need. Now, another strategy is We want to treat you and your symptoms, not the test. So let me give you an example. For people who have thyroid problems, they go in, they get a TSH. And so their TSH may be high, it may be normal, it may be low. But what happens, let's say it's high and they say you have hypothyroid and the doctor puts you on a medicine for that, like a Synthroid, a Levoxel, or Ormothyroid. Then you go back, you have it tested again, and it's now normal or within the lab reference range. We'll talk about normal in a minute. Within the lab reference range. And you say, I'm taking my medicine, it's in the lab reference normal range, my TSH now, but guess what? I still feel like crap. I still am gaining weight, even when I'm on a diet. I have cold hands and feet. I'm losing my eyebrows. I'm getting morning headaches. I'm depressed. I have constipation alternating with diarrhea. So now you have a normal test. You're on medications, but you still feel bad. And so what happened is that the practitioner treated your test result and didn't treat you. And so even when your test results come back normal in the lab reference range, doesn't mean that you are normal. Because what defines optimal health is that you feel good. Does that make sense? Don't you want to feel good? You don't want to just have normal labs. You want to feel good. And so with testing, relax about it. Relax about it. We do the evaluation, and then we decide as we go along a protocol that I've put together specifically based for you, which tests are necessary at which time. And usually tests are necessary when you're not getting a result, when you're not feeling better. So if we do all the tests at the beginning, then that means that you might get better when we don't need the test. Now, the other thing is, as your doctors, other doctors see you feeling better, they're willing to work a lot of times with me, and I say, hey, there's a test that we need. Would you be willing to order this? And we talk about it. But on the other side, let's say your doctor's not willing to, or you don't want to go with your doctor. Do everything possible to make it affordable to you so that we can get answers. So we don't go off and order $3,000 worth of tests right off the bat. That would be silly. First, we go look for the cause, make adjustments, and then as we go down the pathway, we decide what is necessary. So just a little bit about testing. I'm glad you guys decided to join in. I hope this answers a little bit of questions about that. And if you have questions, post them below. I'm happy to answer about the different types of testing because there's a lot, but don't just get hung up on it. Realize that there's a lot that functional medicine practitioners can do for you, just knowing what they know without even tests, because we are used to working in budgets. We want you to get well. And the idea of getting well is to not put extra stress on you about tests and the cost of tests and things like that. When they're absolutely necessary, we cross the bridge when we come to it and figure out how to get it done for you. So glad you joined in. Talk to you soon.